Hello everyone. Today we are the team who made the report and presentation are uh, Jyoti Kamlesh, myself, MT Mahan, Karnika, and Rahul Thakur. Today we are going to present on the paper Tensor Product Attention is all you need. So just like humans, large language models perform significantly better with attention. So it's almost like they are equipped with X-ray vision to connect the words between them. And it allows us to construct a high dimensional graph where they're able to establish connections and make vectors out of them that helps them understand the context. And today we are going to see innovation in the attention. So the research gap is attention mechanisms are powerful, but they are very memory consuming. So we are trying to, the papers has created an innovation that has almost provided us with 10 times better memory consumption. So mechanisms are powerful, but they are memory consuming. And the solution to this is the paper is introducing tensor product attention. This allows us to deal with memory consumption 10 times better. So the overview is the innovation comes in efficient key value pack catching. So instead of calculating every matrices, we are introducing two vectors, which is head of the which is in head of the sorry rank of the heads token and rank of the heads rank of the dimensionality of heads token. So along with this, we are introducing new transformer architecture T6, which is combination of uh, uh, multi-headed lateral attention and yeah. So this paper also is ambiguous about covering the computational complexity of while training. The memory crisis. Standard attention mechanisms require storing complete key value caches. That they take the whole matrix of weights and other parameters. So which grows linearly, which but this is very consuming. And when we introduce sparse attention, it most of the time or like has very high chance of losing essential information. And off-chip storage solutions increase I/O latency. So caching without the models is increasing the I/O latency. And multi-query attention, group query attention reduce memory, but often compromise model flexibility. That is, they don't allow the model to be interruptive as the standard LLM. So we will see the attention family tree. We start with so it's the scale dot product attention is from attention is all you need paper, which started the trend. And multi-head attention, now we are introducing another vector. In this, we are introducing another matrix that that tracks of all the hits. And in multi-query attention, we are selective about the queries. And in grouped query attention, it groups the KV matrices, allowing us a balance between memory and expressiveness. And multi-head Latin attention is what this paper uses, and it allows us to encode extrapositional uh, context. And from here, MD Mahan will take care.
Hello. So basically, this paper serves as a new methodology. So what happens is when a large text is being processed by a large language model like a large accent something, so they cannot directly handle it. What they have to do, they have to somehow when a large text is being inferred, every token need to be embedded, and they need to generate attention parameters like key, then query and values for that token. Now for large token, large text, it become very large. So the models, what have to do, they have to save some in-memory cache. What they will do is, like, to save time, they saves this attention tokens, like attention parameters to infer in as fast as possible without going to the main memory. Now, when the size of the text is very large, the cache itself not enough. Sometimes it can't actually handle this overburden of saving up key queue, query key and values. So this paper, to address this challenge, this paper actually uh, comes up with a new idea. Their idea is very simple. Their intuition is very simple. We don't need to save the whole matrix of query key and value. We just vectorize them, and we just factor them and save their vector, and this way we can save memory. So this, from that perspective, it proposed actually this methodology. First, it factorized the matrices query k and value into the like corresponding factors using the concept latent factor map. Then during the attention mechanism, when attention mechanism is going on, what it does, it uses those vectors and recompute that QKP to carry on the attention mechanism within the transformer. Also, it integrates with another traditional methods, rope, to save the contextual values of the text, and it incorporates in the vector level, not in the matrix level. So this way, it saves the, like, it can still carry the contextual information, but it still saves the memory. So how it does it? Can you go to the next slide, please, Jati?
What, Mahan? Sorry.
Next slide.
Yeah.
So contextual factorization is the first step. The idea is simple. We don't want to save like whole the Q, K, and V. So it is kind of, the paper following is the idea of multi-head attention. So each head generally has a Q, K, and V. What this paper does, it for each head, it find the portion of the query K and value, and it factorize it into uh, corresponding vectors A and B, and this type of vector, these are actually and we are type of vector which also related to the ranks. So each rank will have a corresponding vector. Now what happen is, now if there is 64 head, there could be 64 set of A and B, for one for each rank. Now computation here, this steps computation is, we don't need to compute all the ranks. The rank, like, if we can compress the rank, we still get the absolute accuracy, but we don't need all the rank. So this way, and this method is directly comparable to traditional mechanisms like multi-head attention, or multi-head query attention, or a group query attention. If we make the rank as the number of head, it is technically, this method is technically the same as the multi-head attention. If we make the rank is only one, it is same as multi-head query attention. If we group the rank one, it is same as the grouped query attention. So basically, it is kind of the extension of this traditional approach, kind of, but still it gives the flexibility to compress the method more. And when we need to recompute the query key and value, based on the compression of our need, we just multiply till that ranked vectors and get the matrices of Q, K, and P. Please go to the next slide. So now we don't need to this each vector don't need to be these vectors can be calculated directly from the hidden representation of each token. For example, if hidden representation is xt, we can calculate the corresponding vector directly by multiplying a learnable parameter w with the corresponding vector, and w is the learnable parameter which the model will learn throughout the time. Now what happens is this a vector, a set of a's, they generally captures the non-textual contextual or the token level information from the whole text, or we can say word level, and B captures a contextual or word interaction in the whole sentence, like how we're interacting. So A captures the non-contextual part and B captures the contextual part, which can be later manipulated many ways to convert this model into like other models like UA and GQA. Now, the main benefit is, as we are not saving directly the matrices, our cache just need to save the required amount of vectors. If we choose to follow like out of 64 head, we just considering 10 rank, we can just say, save 10 vectors for each, and this way actually this measure actually saving 10 times more cache memory within the chip. So kind of it is saving us in memory for, and at the same time, so as we need less, we can save more parameters in the KB cache. Now we can infer more tokens at the same time. Can you go to the next slide? So now how the rest of the model works? It's the rest of the model follows the typical attention mechanism. It directly calculates the attention from each head using QK and V. Now each QK and V from this TPA mechanism we can directly calculate as the dotted product of the vector components, and based on the and sum them based on the rank. Can you move to the next slide? Now, if we want to like incorporate the contextual information of the text within this vector component, we don't need to do first the matrix conversion then add it. They can directly do it from using the vector component. They just directly multiply the B vector component, which has the contextual information, using rope, and multiply it A. And this way, rope is kind of capturing the contextual information of the whole text and positional information of each word or each token. Can you go to the next slide? Can you? Okay. So now they have another architecture T6, which similar, but we can avoid the cache component. Here we can directly compute the QK and V, and we can rotate QK and V using rope. We can using the rope, but this QK and V are being computed from this vectors, not directly the whole QK and V directly multiplying. They are computing the small weights and multiplying them to compute the A and B, and from them they are computing the QK and V, and then they are rotating it using rope, similar way as we shown previous slide. Then they reconstruct the whole QK and V for all heads by concatenating them, and we will still to construct this QK and V, we will still need 3 weight parameters, because like they are in compressed form. These weight parameters generally make them suitable. So these weight parameters are learned using the feed-forward network like Swiglu, and this way actually this architecture is still reconstructing this whole thing from this vector component. Can you go to the next slide? Now, they have done some experiments to show effectiveness of their work. So they have compared their work with traditional frameworks like multi-head attention, multi-query attention, group query attention, and multi-head latent attention. So they compared based on four things: loss, perplexity, downstream transfer performance, KB cache performance. So like their model using for both medium, like a model with 353 million parameters or 773 large model, they showed like they have found lowest amount of loss for their approach. Perplexity, they have shown that they have achieving lowest amount of perplexity for both medium and large model. For downstream tasks, they showed that on average for 9 dataset, they are getting the best accuracy. And their main contribution is the KB cache reduction, which is they're showing that their model can now process 10x more tokens at the motor, because of they can use the cache uses 10x more time. Can you go to the next slide, please? Now, problem is, as you can see, they are not directly using the computing that Q, K, and P. So they are computing from the vectors and ranked multiplication of that vector, summation of the multiplication of the vectors. So there is an additional step. But in this whole paper, they didn't do any computational time analysis that shows like the amount of time they saves because of the like they now, as their cache has can capture more token, they can infer more tokens at the same time. How much more time it saves compared to the extra computation they need for the recalculation of the QKNB. They didn't do any experiment on that. Another problem of this is this has they have like a rank they have ranking system available that allows the compression of the QKNB. Now, this is one important factor which needed to save computational time. If we may lower the ranking, low rank factorization, that we save a lot of computation time. But they didn't analyze like how effective, till which point, how effective that is to learn the parameters, a little to learn the text based on the data set. They didn't do any analysis on that. And another thing is, as there is like several conversion going on and several ranking and low compression going on, still their model is performing absolute best and everything. So either it can be a very groundbreaking work, or there can be some fallacy. But problem is to check that we need to like re-implement the whole model to see like if how much truth is in this their claims. So still I believe like it's too much accuracy in everything might be a red flag for the paper, which need to be verified. Can I go to the next slide? Even if we now, if we overlook this things, TP and T6 actually offers a very memory efficient and high performance alternative of traditional multi-head attention mechanism. But uh, and we can say like T6 also like represent an viable option for rethinking of this attention mechanism. Can you go to the next slide? Can you go to the next slide? Thank you. Actually, now we are presenting two person here, but the presentation has like more key contributors, Rahul
Rahul Tattoo and
and
Karnika.
yeah, and Karnika, Rahul and Karnika, and we 4 person actually preparing the presentation. So if you have any question, please ask.